Oh, we're live. Hey, everybody. Tom Coleman here with the wonderful Catherine Wilfong today, and we got Comment Tracker running. They just rolled out a new one, so it's working right now. So who knows how it'll work today? But anyway, if you guys have questions, we'd love to hear from you. But we're going to be talking a little bit about Tweet Jukebox and Buffer and answering your questions on video marketing and Facebook marketing, and but basically tell you how we're having some success with Tweet Jukebox and Buffer and some of our Twitter tools and stuff. So I mean, I love Twitter. It's a great platform. You can have it very targeted, and you can drive a lot of traffic with it. So if that's something that you're interested in, this is going to be fun today. So glad you're here. So Catherine, what's going on with you?
I am trying to get everything packed up to move. That's, the big stuff going on in my life right now.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about, let's see, we got you on Tweet Jukebox, right?
Yes, I am. I love Tweet Jukebox.
So let me ask you this. What kind of questions do you have about it? And you use Buffer too, right?
Yes, I do. I use Buffer too.
Okay. Well, let me ask you about Tweet Jukebox then. What have you had any challenges with it at all? How have you got it set up? Or are you how many tweets an hour are you running? How many tweets 24 hours are you running? That kind of stuff.
Well,
and are you generating leads yet with it?
As far as leads go, I don't have certain things in place to really capture the leads, but that's my fault. That's not necessarily.
Okay. You just don't have all your infrastructure in place yet.
Infrastructure.
Okay. No problem.
However, I am getting a lot of Twitter followers based on Tweet Jukebox.
Are they targeted?
I don't know if they're targeted or not, simply because I haven't been tracking whether they're targeted or not.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. I'm gonna give you some tools that are going to give you some of that information.
Okay.
And they're Twitter extensions. So if you're using the Google Chrome, and I've got a list of them. I'll tell you what they are, and I tell you how I use them, and they're really, really neat. And I don't see, if anybody's on Twitter and using it to market, and I don't see why anybody is not doing some kind of marketing on Twitter, because it is so very targeted. And I mean, I can drive 2,000 views to a link that I can watch in an hour. So I mean, it's and I use Tweet Jukebox to do that, to help do that. And that's, so I love Tweet Jukebox. But I know when you initially set it up, did you have any? I mean, he's got, it's Tim Fargo's program, and it's a free program. And basically, what it does for you, you can basically schedule any tweets any way you want. And he has been giving out 100. They're basically, it's set up in little boxes, so you can have about 2 or 3 or 4 little juke boxes, and he puts all his photos, in one, and he gives you a couple hundred, 100 of those, or a couple hundred of those, because people like photos. And then he also gives you 100 or 200 free quotes. Okay, so if you're just getting started on Twitter, it's a great program to have. And even if you have a big following, I still think it's a great program to have, because everybody's interested in quotes and everybody's interested in photos. So, and that'll bring you followers. Now, you don't necessarily have to follow people back. So that's kind of one of the things that you can do. I mean, you can go out and pull people in by hashtag, and hashtags are very critical on Twitter. So one of the things that you need to think through in your Twitter marketing is specifically what hashtags your market is using. Okay. And then what you can do with Tweet Jukebox is you can put this in any program that you've got. You can put a tweet out there. You can put your different, on Twitter, you've got to send out a different tweet each time. Okay, at least in 24 hours, or it's a problem. So, but what you can do is you can have two hashtags at the end of your tweet, and if you've got a list of 10, 12, 20 hashtags that are good for your market, then what you can do is you can take and run your tweet with two of your hashtags, and then just make a list of your hashtags and find and replace your thing. And you can, you can change your tweets out pretty easily too, and just take those and put them in a CSV file and upload them to to Tweet Jukebox and into one of your, and you can do that and promote stuff in just an hour phrase, or a 4-hour period of time, or 24-hour period of time, or weeks, or forever. You can schedule it any way you want. So let me just ask you this, Catherine, how are you now running tweets 24 hours a day? Do you know about how many tweets you're doing a day? Or
Yes, I'm doing at least, and I should do more, but I do at least 12 to 14 tweets a day. And that I believe can be increased, but I do at least that many.
Well, I would recommend that you put out at a minimum 24 tweets on an hourly, 24 tweets a day, one an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you can run some people off if you have too many tweets, but I put out an awful lot of tweets every day. So across all my Twitter channels, and I don't reach out and follow people. So, and I'm building, I just started another Twitter account the other day, and I hadn't had it going very long. I've already got over 1,200 followers, and they're pretty targeted. And it drives a lot of traffic just with 1,200 people. So if you're going out and following people by hashtag, about 30% of them will follow you back. So if you go out and do that, you can build it up real quick. Or if you use Tweet Jukebox and you're putting out your quotes, and you're putting out your quotes, and you're putting out your pictures, then and you're putting out some content that your market would like, you can either share other people's content that are in your market and add your own content to it, or you can do all your own content if you're producing a lot of content. But you'll gain followers by doing that. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I agree with you. I love the tweets, the quotes that are in Tweet Jukebox. And I went through all of the tweets, the quotes. So I decided to space them out a little bit more, and because I started going through them again. And so now I need to just go out and find some more quotes and disperse them in through the ones that Tweet Jukebox provided.
Well, one of the things that you can do though is you can go out to blogs that are people in your market and share some of their good content through Tweet Jukebox. And you'll get when you tap into their market and you've got some content that you're putting out too, people will see your content and you'll pick up some of them as an audience.
Right.
So that's why you want to keep it targeted, and the way that you target it is with your keywords. So you got to think through it. But I would recommend that if anybody is on Twitter, that they're tweeting a minimum of you need to tweet 24 hours a day, because if you go look at anybody out there that has really large followings, everybody's tweeting 24 hours a day. And then most of them, I mean, you can schedule them every 15 minutes if you want. I mean, just depends on how much content that you have. So if you're just getting started, you know, you can put your content in there and you can share other people's content that's coming out. So it's easy to do. But one of the things I love about Buffer, I like their links better than anybody else's links. And Tweet Jukebox uses Google links, which I don't like. But that's just me. So it depends on what you guys like. But Buffer links are great. I love Buffer links because you can change them out all the time. It's real easy to do. Does that talk? I'm just sitting here talking too much. Talk a little bit. Tell me about, I mean, can I get you to do at least 24 tweets a day on Tweet Jukebox? Because if you're using Buffer, if you're using the free one, you can only schedule 4 or 5 a day or so. You can only schedule 10 at a time on the free one. Mm-hmm. Now, Buffer is kind of cool. It does have something that Tweet Jukebox doesn't have. You can pull RSS feeds in to Buffer if you're using the paid one. Okay, so you can go out there and put your blog in and you can just use it and RSS feed it through. So you don't have to physically load it like you do in Tweet Jukebox. Okay.
Well, maybe you just answered one of my questions about Buffer. I was having a problem with Buffer, and that might be the reason I was having a problem was I was putting in some hashtags with Buffer, and it was just shortening all of my wording and hashtags. I don't know why. It was doing not every one of my, not everyone, but a lot of them. And so I found that to be strange.
I hadn't had any problem with Buffer shortening my tags.
Yeah, it was really weird.
So how are you doing it?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
How are you scheduling a tweet that it's shortening your tags?
I would type them in, and I would type in hashtag and the word I'd want hashtagged, and then I'd go back and check, and it would like chop it off. I was like, that's weird. and it would actually sent it out that way several times. So maybe it was because what I did with Buffer, and I don't know if there was an issue. I put some tweets that I wanted the links to be buffered. So I put because I wanted a certain link to my web page.
Right.
Buffered, and then I took that and I put that in Buffer. So they buffered my link, and then I copied that and I took that out and I put it over into my Tweet Jukebox to be sent out. And then I just erased that particular tweet out of Buffer, and then I put another tweet into Buffer, and then I kept doing that. And then I think that's when I ran into the trouble of them like shortening my hashtags. It was strange, but maybe there was a problem. It sent out a couple of tweets because I actually let Buffer send out a couple of tweets, but it did. It ended up showing my hashtags. Not all of them, which was weird, but just a few. And it wasn't a character count. It was, I made sure it was within a certain character count too.
I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of that. I've never had them do that to my links. So
I know.
To my tags, to my hashtags.
Yeah, I found that to be really strange. I had no idea what was going on. I thought, oh well, I need to go in and change this and move it around and change it, and it was just really just strange. So well,
I mean, the easy way to do it. One of the things that you can do. I use the Google Docs. So on Docs, I've got a list of all my hashtags. I've got a list of, and I don't know how many it is, but it's like 2 pages of them.
Right.
So and I've got them. They're hashtag tweet. So I just find and replace.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can just and then you just copy and paste, or you can use a CSV and upload them directly to your Tweet Jukebox, and then you can schedule those tweets to go out at specific periods of time. So, I mean, I've got Tweet Jukebox with hundreds of they're loaded with tweets, so I can stop them, I can start them,
Right.
And the Tweet Jukebox is free, so, and it's a 24-hour deal.
Right.
So, and you've got total flexibility on your scheduling on it. So that's one of the reasons I really love it. But I use it in conjunction with Buffer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what I'll do a lot of times, if there's what I do is, if I've got a tweet that I want to do, I format it in Buffer. I put my tags in, my tags in there, and then I copy it and paste it to Tweet Jukebox. And then I can, if I want a bunch of them, I can just run it down, and I can change the wording on all of them, and then just load those up in the Tweet Jukebox. So it's pretty cool.
Right, and that's what I was doing, and but I left some tweets just in Buffer, and Buffer for some reason went back and shortened my hashtags, and I don't know why. It was,
yeah, I know I know you said that, so I understand that. I don't know why either, so that's just kind of weird. So, but normally it doesn't do that. So, talk a little bit more about Tweet Jukebox or Buffer, or any other questions you have about Buffer.
but other than that, I love Twitter, and I love Tweet Jukebox. Buffer, I love being able to shorten my web page and everything. It seems to be, flowing nicely, and people love what I've been sending out, and having it automated is really nice.
Okay. Well, make sure you're putting out at least one an hour.
Okay.
And preferably one every half hour, 24 hours a day. And if you'll do that and share some of your target market stuff, either their blog or their tweets, you will pick up part of their audience too. It'll automatically happen.
Okay.
Okay. So what you'll see is you'll start seeing your Twitter account grow. Okay. And then the more content that you put into that, you can use Twitter analytics to see what's going well. Right. But let me give you, we're at 12:18, we're doing good. So let me just tell you, well, can you show people that I want to show people what I use, my go-to.
What do you want me to do? You want me to share something?
Yeah, if you'll share that. My go-to extensions for Twitter marketing. There we go.
Okay.
Bigger. So I can read them. But
okay, I can make this bigger.
Oh, cool. Yay. Now we're cooking. Yeah. The thing that I have, basically I use Chrome, and I use extensions on it all the time. Okay. And the number one extension that I always, and I'm on Twitter a lot, although I'm on a lot of channels too, but Twitter is one of my main marketing programs or marketing platforms. So Buffer is always active. But when I'm on Twitter, what I've got active, I've got the Buffer extension, I've got Tweet Jukebox extension, and I'll make this available to people where they can click on it and come. If you click on this, it'll take you to the links, and you can add them as extensions on your Chrome browser. And that's what these are, and they're also in the App Store, so you can use them like that too. But that's where these goes. These go to the Chrome
This
app.
up here. See, it looks like this. It's stacked.
Say it again.
See where my pointer is? That's my buffer extension. So.
Yep. Yep. But so that's the Tweet Jukebox extension. And I use cloud extension all the time. And what that does is that will show people's clout scores within your feed, your Twitter feed. Okay. So it's really cool. So you can see who's got good clout and who doesn't. And then one of the neatest extensions out there is Riffle by Crowdriff. Riffle by Crowdriff. That's number 4. And what that does is it comes out beside people, and if you click on it, it pulls up all their different social media accounts. It tells you which hashtags they use the most, what people they comment on the most, and what URLs they use the most, along with their main URL. So that's pretty cool, right?
That is cool.
So that's Riffle by Crowdriff. And I use Awesome Screenshot extension, and that's there's 2 pieces to that. I don't know if you have to have both of them on there or not, but you can figure it out. But that's an easy way to take pictures of anything on the net and save them anywhere you want to save them. So that's really, really cool. And then I use the Pin It extension because, I pin stuff from my blog to Pinterest and stuff like that, and also pin some tweets to Pinterest too.
Okay.
You got some really pretty pictures and stuff. You can pin your tweets to it, which is pretty cool. So I pin some tweets and I pin blog posts and different things like that, and I use that extension to do that. And then the Reportive extension, that's just kind of a cool extension that will show you in Gmail. It will show you people's LinkedIn profiles. So that's pretty sweet. And then if you're come down a little bit, I want to show people the well, I'll just tell you what it is. It's Pretty Link. So if put Pretty Link, there's a Pretty Link Lite, so that doesn't cost you anything, but they do have a pro tool that's got more features to it. But Pretty Link Lite, if you'll put that on your blog, you can actually run traffic. You can put a link in there, and if you can buffer that link and run it through your Tweet Jukebox, and you can actually see how many hits you get to that link, and you can watch it live too. So it's like watching a video game. Yeah. So I mean, it's really, really cool. And can you come back for a second?
Yeah.
And if you'll keep everybody entertained for a minute, I'll be right back.
Okay. So,
cool.
I like to use Tweet Jukebox, which Tom Coleman was just talking about. And what I found is that people love my quotes that I've been sending out, and they will give them a favorite and then also retweet them. And even though I'm sending out some of the same quotes that I've been sending out for a while, it appears in a stream at a different time, so people see them during the day or see them at night, and also it applies to your life at a different time. So I find that, just because you're going through something at one point does not necessarily mean that that quote is going to apply to you that day, but the next day or 2 weeks from now, if the quote is sent out again, you might see it and go, oh, wow, look, this applies to me today. So I think that's why quotes are so popular, especially on Twitter. I just really like that. So what else other than I'm really looking forward to exploring more things that I'm sending out on Tweet Jukebox.
Sweet. So have I got you convinced to send out at least one an hour, or even better, one every half hour?
Yes,
because you've got pictures that you can send out like that, and you've got quotes that you can send out like that, and you can intermix your own stuff with it, and then you can put other people's that are in your market stuff into it too, either their tweets or their and you can find them by hashtag, and Crowdfire I use all the time too, by the way.
Right.
And I use that to clean up people
Mm-hmm.
that don't follow me and stuff. But I don't go out, and I've never gone out and followed people and have them follow me back. Although if you're doing it properly, that's really how you ought to do it, because about 30% of the people will follow you back.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have tools that do that, but they don't have. You got to actually do it by hand all now. So
On Twitter.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I don't know about everybody's circle scope, but mine's expiring in a day or so. So I have to repurchase my circle scope. So for everybody on G+, I don't know when you buy it or whatever, but it is a good tool.
It's a great tool. So yeah, if you're on G+, that's a go-to tool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're coming up about on the end of the thing. So let's see. Did you have any Facebook questions or video marketing questions or anything like that, or blog or anything?
Not today. I think we covered the Twitter information, or the Tweet Jukebox information, and I love Buffer and I love Tweet Jukebox. So,
well,
you sold me on that when you showed me how to use those two in combination together.
I think Buffer and Tweet Jukebox go together like peanut butter and jelly.
How to use those two together? I was like, whoa! It opened up Twitter. I was like, whoa!
And I'll throw Feedly in there too, because Feedly pulls in RSS links, so you can do a lot of stuff and all these things that. So I mean, if you're pulling, Catherine, you can go to people's blog posts, and there's different tools that you can use to find them, but you can find them on Twitter, and you can pull their stuff into Feedly, and then these extensions are going to be, you can go from Feedly and stick them into your Tweet Jukebox. You can buffer them and stick them into your Tweet Jukebox, and you're off to the races. And it doesn't, once you get down what you're doing, you can do it very quickly. And
so, well, I'll have to check Feedly out. Feedly.
Yeah, Feedly. But anyway, so, and then once you get your content out there, you can really dial that in too. But if you've got an audience, people will see your content and they will go to it.
Right.
So we'll get you rocking and rolling.
Well, I do. I've increased my followers on, not to the level that you do, because you have it, just down.
Well, I've got a bigger base. I've got a bigger base than you do.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, once I started sending stuff out from Tweet Jukebox, using, Buffer and all that, it really did. It just really increased everything. And so it's like, wow.
Well, Tammy jumped up a bunch just in one day. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you'll do this stuff, it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can put it on steroids if you go out there and follow people, and they'll follow you back. You just have to. And I've got a tool, and it's set up on automatic where it goes and it gets rid of tweets and does this, that, and the other stuff. So, but if anybody's interested in that, holler at me. So, but our time is up. So. You got any last comments you want to make?
No, I just want to say happy Tuesday, and yay for being here, Tom, and telling us all about this.
Well, I just hope it helps some people. So I'll give you a link, and you can go see the tools, and you can put them on your browsers and your extensions. And happy marketing, guys. So we'll see you next Tuesday, same bat station, same bat channel.
Woohoo!
See you. Bye-bye.